What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. The link for that in the description box down below.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to My Cowboys Family here. Another Cowboys chat, kicking off a new week. We were thinking of skipping tonight, but there was a couple things to discuss, touch base on as we kick off a new week. We're going to try to get into the rhythm of maybe more of a 6 or 7 nights a week like we used to do. So we're trying to get back into that. So before we get going on this Cowboys chat, a new night here, of course, like the wife said, hit that thumbs up, that like button, subscribe, grow the channel, the family here, and of course the notification bell to all videos, social media, My Cowboys Family, and all that good stuff. Let's open this thing up here, guys, and shout out those that have represented here on our little channel on YouTube.
Yes, guys, remember, it's a brand new week, so we have some brand new names here to shout out and give some love and appreciation to, and especially a brand new name in this particular regard because the sponsor of the week and the Cash
the Cash App King,
is none other than Mr. Stewart.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart. Appreciate you representing it for the first time ever as MCF sponsor of the week and Cash App King.
Yeah, he is the first time representation there at the buzzer last night as we ended the week. Mr. Stewart with some bombs here and took it over here at on our last stream of the week. So he was in a battle there with Skeptical Fan Mark Hovsepian. Mr. Stewart wins it. He's our sponsor of the week, like you said, the first time ever, and of course, the king of the Cash App, first time as well for him, but not the first time for Mark Hovsepian as our stream boss. This is the 10th straight week this man has dominated that board, as he's dominated the sponsor of the week. 15 in a row has been the all-time record. So much love to Mark Hovsepian, all the way from Hawaii, repping that navy blue, silver, and star over everything. Appreciate you guys. I know Jason Renfro had the reins, the crown last week. Now it's passed over to Mr. Stewart. Mark still keeps his spot, but the other boards right now, when you look at this, the other boards are open. We got ourselves a first time. Now, kicking off the week here, let's put it that way, with Tammy Soltis officially back in that navy blue crew, baby.
Well, thank you so much, Tammy. Appreciate you. And guys, you already know, drop them if you got them. Drop those emojis in the chat. By the way, thanks to you guys and specifically Skeptical Fan with the most gifted memberships. So we actually have a few new emojis available as well. So even if you were already a member, go ahead and check it out because we have even more emojis. And of course, huge shout out to Skeptical Fan for leading it.
Yes,
it's
a monthly gifting leaderboard. We're gonna probably put the top 3 people on that board right now. It's only 2 people on it. Remember, you can only be in the membership if you want to be on that board, but Skeptical Fan is in first place on that side of things with 11 gifted memberships. Much love to him. And then Scorpio also threw one in there. So that's the leaderboard right now. That's going to be going the whole month of May, and we'll see who the winner is at the end of the month. Maybe put you on a special spot on this board here if you are the gift giver of the month, let's say. Now, we're still figuring that out, and I want to make sure Mr. Stewart, he's repping that crown in the Cash App, but I want to remind everybody that is currently empty. As we speak, no one's in there.
It is a brand new week.
It is a new week, but as you do kind of the rest of the information, again, we got our memberships back, as you can see with Tony Soltis and others here. I'm sorry, not Tony, but Tammy Soltis. As you can see, we got the memberships back, but we also have other ways to help out the channel, baby. You want to let them know those other 4 ways of helping the channel out outside of the Super Chat membership and all that stuff.
Of course, you do have the Cash App, money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, your regular PayPal link, and the Streamlab link still works, guys, just like a super chat if you want to show your message right here on the screen.
Woo! Much love to Jason Renfro dropping that dollar holler as he's in second place on that board above. Maybe much love for the shout outs there on the ways to help the channel out. But we got the man Jason Renfro here on the board. As he was the Cash App King and the sponsor of the week, now in second place on the overall board. I'll update that in a minute. Much love to Jason Renfro. Much appreciation to him and Tammy Soltis in the membership. Baby, why don't you take it away and give the shout outs. As I open this board up, you guys will see It's the MCF family here in a futuristic, but we're in our little MCF tavern right here. Little vape smoke, a little beer, alcohol. You guys partake in whatever you'd like. But here on MCF, repping that star, repping the MCF, the wife and I here in our little tavern, drinking some cowboy brew. So hey, enjoy with us, guys. We're going to discuss a couple things tonight. Be a shorter stream probably. But we definitely will discuss some things with you guys about our Cowboys going forward in this offseason as we get closer to the rookie mini camp, which is really the big news on the horizon that's coming up next for the Cowboys. So, baby, I did want to say one last thing before you take the shout-outs. Before you do the shout-outs, I want to give to Mr. Stewart. I know I was not able to read his comment last night on the Cash app. He said last night, "Go Cowboys, peace and blessing." So I want to make sure I repeat that again for Mr. Stewart as he is repping that sponsor of the week and that Cash App board with the takeover for the first time all week. Now, before I get going with the news, baby, you take it over. I give you the microphone, and I want you to tell me. And again, the mic is a little bit in and out on your side, so just make sure you speak into the mic. But let me know who's in the house tonight, chilling, discussing with us about our Dallas Cowboys.
Of course. So yeah, hopefully it's. There we go. Hopefully it's working now appropriately, but let's go ahead and shout out Scorpio in the house, Stephen White, hello and hi, Xavier Hidalgo representing our Cowboys, CJ the GOAT 254. Again, I'm glad for all the late night shift workers. We're able to provide a little bit of fun and entertainment here. And for those late nights, Jason Renfro, of course, the man himself. Tammy Soltis, much love to you as well. Landlord from Wakanda in the house. Scorpio representing. We have, let's see, who else is here? Trying to go back, make sure I shout everybody out. We have, let me see, 12th man off grid AK. Thomas Garrett, the superior. Garrett. Jason Renfro, of course, much love to you. Let me come back down, make sure I didn't miss anybody new coming in here. Mike Aldana, what's up? Much love. And
ooh, the drop, the 5 on it. Off
as well, right along with Jason Renfro, Mark Hovsepian with a $5 holler. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate you. And let me go ahead and break down what he has to say. He said, "You know what's sad? I have more excitement about the undrafted players than many players we drafted. Any truth to us getting the Jets defensive tackle Quinlan?" So, first of all, like I said, I've said this before, I'm probably going to sound like a broken record for the next few weeks, but I'm not surprised that there's a lot of people still with some questions about some of our draft picks and some of the undrafted guys that we picked up, at least 2 or 3 of them do feel like quite the steal, right? So I can see why some of those guys would be a little more exciting than maybe some of the other picks that we've grabbed, just because those are kind of still, I don't know, they still have their question marks around them,
listen,
right?
I agree.
Until we kind of officially see them, especially now, the rookie mini camp is coming up later this week. So honestly, that alone is going to hopefully ignite some hype over some of the question marks as we just kind of see them start to get acclimated with our Cowboys, right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you said there. I want to touch, again, we also got a drop from Jason Renfro. I'll shout him out in a minute. But first, Mark Hovsepian, who rolls right up to the board there with Tammy Soltis with the $5 holler. And I do want to say that the Jets defensive tackle, Quentin Williams, there has been talk about him for a little bit. But don't put your eggs in that basket. I'm going to be real about this. I mean, again, unless the Cowboys go out there and make a huge trade, it's not going to happen. The Cowboys are not going to want to pay him. Look, it's a great deal. He's a very good 3-down nose tackle interior defensive player. But I don't want to feed you guys hype or BS. There's no way the Cowboy front office will pay that much for a guy at that position, even with their newfound resurgence and wake-up call as far as from Dan Quinn getting the interior solidified. They'll do it with guys like Mozzie Smith, rookie draft picks, and they'll do it with guys like Jonathan Hankins, cheaper, maybe a little older guys that are kind of, going to be, when they're healthy, they're going to do their job of stopping the run, nothing flashy. The Cowboys rather do that than pay Quentin Williams $20 million a year, which is what's going to be the deal, plus give up draft capital. Just not the Cowboys, not Jerry Jones, not Stephen Jones's MO. You guys feel me on this? So I hear you there, Mr. Marco Seppian. Great comment there. And we will listen. There's a lot of things to be sad about. There's a couple things to be happy about when it comes to our Cowboys. And listen, if our defense can be elite consistently, that will carry us through the season, through the playoffs, maybe, just maybe through well, we'll say it. Listen, much love to Jason Renfro as well, dropping the $1.72 holler and the Go Cowboys.
Presenting with the classic Go Cowboys.
Much love to him once again. So we got 1, 2, 3 people up on that board. Tammy back in the membership. And we're just rolling here, minutes into the new week here on My Cowboys Family. Anyone else maybe to shout out before I get rolling here tonight with the news, info, and update?
Let me see. No, I think we got everybody. Rolando Rodriguez rolling through. What's up? All the way from South Texas.
That's it. Okay. All right. Just make. I didn't know. Yeah, we're doing this. We're doing our characters here, baby. It's a little difficult sometimes.
I know.
Especially on my side, controlling everything. Either way, let's keep it rolling here, guys, or get it kicked off officially with the news, info, and updates, NFL style, right? Remember the thing we talked about the other day, maybe with the Washington Commanders and them contacting Andrew Luck or his agent or any associate of Andrew Luck? If you do this, by the way, if they did this, he's still under contract with the Colts. Technically, it would be a clear violation of league's tampering policy. So just a little note there, Daniel Snyder messing everything up he does out there, it seems like. And again, it looks like they're not proving it yet, but it's just something that's kind of weird that, once again, Andrew Luck, there's been reports by multiple people that he's been contacted by the Commanders over last year, and now they're saying that would be tampering. So, of course, they never did that. We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds.
It feels like one of those where there's smoke, there's fire situations.
With Daniel Snyder, there's a lot of fire. You know what I mean? So, agree with you, baby. Now, let's get to the schedule part. Okay, NFL. Listen, first and foremost, they announced, the NFL earlier this morning, actually they announced that they were hoping to have the regular season schedule by Thursday, but there was a chance this morning that it could be delayed and not ready. That was according to Peter King. And the schedule makers were trying to meet with Roger Goodell today, this afternoon, and they wanted more clarity about when is there going to be, when are we going to see or get the official date of their schedule release. Well, the announcement was made later this afternoon, and yes, the official schedule release of 2023 will occur Thursday, May 11th at 8 p.m. And I'll put the opponents on the screen here right between the wife and I as we hear from Mark Hosepian as Dak takes into the end of that game we were at. I love that highlight from our own camera, from our own video collection. And those are our opponents. But first, let's talk about the friendlies. Mark Hosepian in first place on the overall board, dropping that 5 on it. What did he have to say?
Oh, thank you, Mark. He said, Quinlan is a difference maker. A young Aaron Donald. I know it's wishful thinking. I wonder how Sam Williams will do this year because we need him to come up big. So, look, Sam Williams should hopefully have everybody excited. We've said it before, and I can't remember exactly the percentage of snaps he had overall. It was something like 20% of snaps overall throughout last year. So when you think about just a small uptick in that, right? If you only give him even just 5%, 10% more, just how much more effective our game is going to be if he plays at the level that he was playing at. And especially you saw a huge turn once he started cleaning up some of those mistakes that he was making in the first half of the year. You remember he was having some issues with like his hand placement and things like that. So basically, as soon as he fixed some of that, I mean, what a jump. So honestly, for me, I expect nothing but great things from Sam Williams. And I'm fully expecting him to come up just as big as we're all hoping.
Agreed. I mean, look, Sam Williams on that itself, you know how I feel about him. I think he's going to come up big. And because you have names like Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, even Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler, these guys are going to help Sam Williams be sneaky in there. I think he's going to get some valuable uptick in snaps. Again, it was like between 17% and 22% last year in 2022 for Sam Williams as far as the percentage of snaps per game. Very, very little, percentage of snaps, but a lot of production off those snaps. So I'm expecting a lot from Sam Williams. Marco Seppian, I agree. Quentin Williams is a difference maker, a 3-down guy, a run stopper, and a pass rusher. The Cowboys, yes, wishful thinking. I was hoping that earlier in the year, in the offseason. Within minutes, you hear the Cowboy front office mindset, and you say, okay, They ain't doing anything. Ooh, Michael Favela Michelle Favela in the house has gotten a membership gifted by the man staying skeptical fan in the house once again. Got to get him up to 12 gifted memberships this month so far. That is the current number one spot. Will it be the all-time record? Well, I guess it will. Whoever wins it this month, it's the first time we've done it, so it will be the all-time record. Skeptical fan gifting the membership, and Michelle Favela gets that navy blue. Much love to you. Congrats, and much appreciation and thanks to the man, Skeptical fan. Let me put him on this board here in a tie with Tammy Soltis. Any quick comments, baby? Ooh.
First of all, yes, thank you, Skeptical. Appreciate you. I'm Thomas Garrett, the superior. Garrett saying that the Lakers beat Golden State. Oh, shit. So now, real quick, CJ the GOAT. I wanted to answer his question real quick. I don't see Deuce starting. Remember, we just tagged Tony Pollard. There's no way we're spending all this money on Tony Pollard just to turn around and have Deuce somehow be the starter. So just want to throw that out there real quick.
I mean, I can't believe I got to address this, but I 100% agree with you, baby. Deuce. It might not even make the 53. I'm just saying we don't even know yet. We got to wait and see what what a guy that low ranked. Again, I low drafted. I agree. He should make this team, but you got good competition out there. You know, you got Tony Pollard.
He kind of has to fight for his spot.
Yeah.
It's not a T the way that it is for like Mozzie Smith. Just to use
no, exactly. And
example.
Listen, you got Tony Pollard. You got for the power guy, you got Ronald Jones right now, and then you got the other guys, the backup guys, Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. You got some decent freaking depth in there, and you never know, are they going to bring Zeke back to fight it out with Ronald Jones? I don't know, but all I know now is that Deuce is going to fit the piece that we don't have right now, and that is a scat back, change of pace guy that the Cowboys can use in a run or pass in the West Coast offense, and that's what I expect from Deuce. I do expect him to make the 53, but we got to wait and see how they use him. If you saw him today, guys, he was busting ass, working out, doing the right before working mini camp here at the end of the week. Friday kicks off, and he was doing the weights on his back, doing the dumbbells, and working the chest and shoulders, the back. I'm looking forward to see what Deuce is loose when he's out there. Number 42, guys, Deuce Vaughn is going to be hitting that field on Friday with the rest of the rookies and undrafted guys. So I do have some announcements to make. I also want to shout out a couple people. So, baby, I don't know. I'm trying. I hope I'm not lost here. I see that.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry?
You're all good. Because I see Jason Renfro, he just dropped a $2.50 drop here in the super chat. Much love to you, Jason.
What did the man say?
More love in the Cash App.
Oh, I just checked it, and he did say drop it, baby. And the leader in the Cash App, as it clears, you'll see who it is. It is the man, Jason Renfro. He dropped a $2.50 in here. He dropped a $2.50 in the Cash App. Can't say enough about the man, Jason Renfro, who's now the leader in the Cash App, and I think he's in second place now on the overall board. Jason Renfro, yes, trying to get that crown back. Trying to get that crown back. You know he does. So as I update this, maybe just give me a minute. Man, okay.
No, of course, real quick. Again, Vaughn definitely is a spark plug. That's why, I agree 100%. I think the Cowboys, as long as he does what we're expecting him to do as of now, I think the Cowboys will absolutely make an effort to find a way for him to make the 53. But as of now, without seeing anybody else that we might have to cut or keep when it comes down to those last few guys, it's hard to really predict who all actually makes the 53. And it could be circumstantial, right? Depending on how the season goes, maybe he starts it on the practice squad, and then as the season goes on, or depending on the team, or let's be honest, the injuries that kind of happen along the way, maybe he's the guy we decide to call up. So, just because he might not maybe automatically make the 53 doesn't mean that he wouldn't make a wonderful practice squad addition, but at the same time, he might not even make it to our practice squad, depending on how well he does too. So that's another consideration for the team.
Yeah, and I was going to say, just to finish up the Deuce, I don't have much on Deuce tonight, but I guess we can hit him up here. And Deuce Vaughn, again, number 42, you're going to see him on the field here on Friday. You're going to see him on Saturday and Sunday, working in with the rookies. His dad's there as one of the scouts. But the important thing about Deuce is that when he gets on that field, if the Cowboys use him in the scheme properly, he's going to be a valuable piece, a spark plug. He's going to be utilized to change things up, even with a guy like Tony Pollard in there. So I'm looking forward to his usage. I'm looking forward to seeing him be dynamic in the run and passing game. But again, everyone temper your expectations. Number one, Tony Pollard is the number one. No question, no diggity, no doubt. That's facts. And you got a power guy in there, which is Ronald Jones, whoever it is. You're going to have a change of pace guy in there, which is going to be Deuce. And I think the Cowboys, if they can find one more spot in there, Rico Dowdle or Malik Davis are going to get that final running back spot. And the other guy will be practice squad, hopefully. But these are skilled running backs. And a lot of people are going to be looking at Malik Davis and Rico Dowdle. I would say let Rico Dowdle go because he's been banged up the last 2 years. And I would let and risk him to be lost if I can't bring him back to the practice squad. That's what I would do with my running backs. You got that. They also got that free agent, the undrafted guy, the fullback, who can make things a little more difficult. Maybe knock out a Ronald Jones if he provides the short yardage running ability that the Cowboys might want from him. So there's a lot of questions to be answered. I think there's going to be 4 total running backs, whether it's three running backs and a fullback, or 4 running backs total. But it was one way or another, we're going to see it's going to be special teams going to probably make a difference on these guys. And Deuce, when he gets the returns, punt returns, kick returns, he also is valuable on special teams. So I expect him to make the team. I just want to see them progress before we count the chickens, before they hatch. So back to the schedule release, baby. And I think I got everything caught up. If I'm not, if I'm behind, let me know. If I missed anything, let me know.
All good.
I think we're good, but it's been an interesting kickoff here to the stream tonight. And again, appreciate everybody who's hitting that like, the thumbs up, the notification bell when you subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you all. Now, as you can see, these are our opponents in 2023. All right, Cowboy home opponents, Cowboy away opponents. We don't know yet what order these are going in for the season. We don't know when our bye week is, but it will be announced officially on May 11th. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time, if you're in the Dallas area, Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Mountain, 6, West Coast, 5 p.m. But again, guys, keep that in mind. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, May 11th, we will know who the Cowboys, what order the Cowboys play the schedule this year. And let me just give some, and I'm curious what you think about this, baby, some changes to the schedule this year that maybe we're not used to in a general season. NFL is going to have a Black Friday game for the first time ever. We don't know who it is, of course. It might be the Cowboys. Probably. We know it's not going to be the Cowboys. We're on Thanksgiving. But the first time they're having a Black Friday game.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, as long as it's not the Cowboys, I guess.
It's interesting. It's intriguing. It makes some sense. But at the same time, something about that also makes my brain just go, eh.
It's a Friday game. Not many football games are played on Friday. So we're going to get that in this year. Games also are not going to be long to networks anymore. And if you guys know, I've said this multiple times here in the 6 years we've been doing this thing. But basically all the games are now free agent games. What do I mean by that? You guys remember, every year we discuss this here on My Cowboys Family, and I remind everybody.
Basically, each network kind of claims certain games, so to speak, right?
Well, that's the way it's going to be now. The way it used to be, the way it always has been in recent, it depends who owns the channel, who owns the rights to the NFL rights on certain channels, but they usually kept it that one network would stay with the AFC teams and the other network goes with the NFC teams. Again. So for example, I was going to say, usually,
obviously, pretty much every single Cowboy game we've watched is on Fox.
Well, exactly, because they handle the NFC games, and CBS handles the AFC games. Of course, we know the Sunday night games and the Monday night games and the Thursday night games. Those are different. But on the Sunday games, early and late games, AFC's it's usually the away team that determines which network it's on, and usually if it's the away team is in the AFC, it's CBS, and if the away team is in the NFC, it'd be Fox. That now is going to become pretty irrelevant to the assignment of these Saturday early and late afternoon games from here on out. So interesting little development and a change. But as I explained, also don't think it's going to be a completely just craziness out there. Even though any given game is now eligible to appear on any network, Fox and the NFC and CBS and the AFC still have appearance minimums per team. That keeps the traditional conference affiliations still very relevant. So you expect to see as people got to misunderstand this a little bit. You're going to see a game once in a while. You've seen some of these happen, but you see a game. The Cowboys will be against the Eagles, and it'll be on CBS one week. It'll be really weird, but it's not going to happen too often. It's still going to stay. Most of the games are going to stay on Fox, that are NFC, and most of the games are going to stay on CBS, that are AFC games. Even though they kind of making it a little more free for all, it's more about the the top games of the week, they get a vie for those. But the basic games, the rest of the games, are going to probably stay as normal, as usual. You guys feel me on this? So Fox will have at least twice as many Cowboy games than any other network, meaning CBS. We will have no matter what. If we're going to have 8 games, 4 games will only be on CBS. And the other ones will be spread out on the Monday night, Thursday night, whatever it is. So again, guys, CBS, Fox can't claim to the Cowboys every time, and CBS can't claim the Chiefs every time. So we're going to see a little bit of mixture, but I just want to throw it out there just to give the update on that situation. How do you feel about that, baby? That little change of things. It's not really a big change when you look at the end result, but expect a couple of differences from last year on the schedule.
Like I said, it's not the biggest change. It's not the most overwhelming thing, but I don't know. It's still a little weird. I feel like I'm more of the dinosaur between us two when it comes to certain changes that the NFL wants to make, right? I'm more the one, like, for example, like the zeros on the jersey and things like that. I'm the first one to say no. Stop messing with it.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, I'm a new schooler, I guess. But listen, now we have a new rule as well with the schedules right now. Teams can be on Thursday Night Football 2 times now instead of just once. So, again, I don't know if that's a good thing, but now you can be on Thursday Night Football 2 times this year instead of once. And not every team is guaranteed to have a prime time game now. It used to be every team gets at least one, every one of the 32 teams gets at least one prime time game. Not anymore guaranteed. Yeah, most teams will still get on there. There might be a year where you miss a game, a team or two on those prime time slots, which is probably making for better games overall. Now, a couple other little things here, guys, ahead of this release, which is going to come out on May 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern. The following games are going to be announced in this upcoming week. Let me explain. The international games. That's coming out May 10th. All right? I guess it's going to be Wednesday. You're going to get the international games May 10th on the NFL Network and ESPN. Those will be announced on those 2 networks on May 10th. On May 10th, you're going to get the Black Friday game through Amazon Prime. So, again, Amazon, May 10th, international is going to announce the Black Friday game. NFL Network, ESPN are going to announce the international games. Also on May 10th, on Fox and Friends and CBS Mornings, respective channels there, CBS and Fox, they're going to announce select individual games, and you can bet your ass the Cowboys will be one of these announced. So May 10th, we're going to get a little pre-announcement of our Cowboy, a couple, maybe a game or 2, who knows. And also on May 11th, even in the Today Show and Good Morning America, again, respective channels, they will be announcing select individual games as well. It might be Saturday night, it might be other places, but the point is that you'll be getting tricklings May 10th through the afternoon, let's say, of May 11th, of some of the more important games, international games, the Black Friday game, and then the final full schedule will come out 8 p.m. Eastern that night. So, any thoughts on those changes, baby?
I mean, realistically speaking, I'm cracking up with some of the jokes here in the chat. There's only so much you can do to make a Thursday night game a little bit more fun or exciting or appealing. So, just saying, like, Amazon's going to need some NFL help there to truly make that a little bit more fun and exciting. But honestly, I don't really have too much more to say there. But it is, how do I put this? I hope that we don't move into an era where the only way to see your football team or access this type of content is through some kind of paid service. I do think one of the reasons that sports is still king when it comes to viewership and numbers and things like that is because you can just turn on your TV and watch it, right? You don't need direct TV, you don't need the internet, you don't need whatever. You need a TV, you need your antenna, boom. That's all you
agree.
need.
We need to get back to those days a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's with now YouTube kind of taking over the NFL Sunday Ticket. The Thursday night games over on Amazon, the Monday night games on ESPN. It's pretty soon, again, you'll be able to catch maybe like 2 football games a week without having to pay some kind of subscription service for that shit. So
yeah, well, again,
I'm not a fan of that trend overall, but I'm hoping that one of the good things that comes out of this is either 1, better games, better matchups overall, or 2, a way to specifically maybe directly watch the team that you're focused on in a direct way. So it feels like it has to be one or the other. If not, then we're just taking L's all the way around.
I agree, baby. And again, I think that you look at also Sunday night games. You got those are NBC, so you got all these games spread out. Luckily, some of these are still on regular networks. But yeah, eventually, it seems like it's starting to go. Almost everything's going to pay games almost. But again, locally, you still get your normal Fox games and your CBS games and your Sunday night games and all that good stuff. So the changes are coming more with. With the dates on some of these games and the way the allowances of the number of teams or not number of teams they're going to be putting on national television primetime games. So now I do want to talk about a primetime situation, and I hate this. I hate the Eagles, but we got to talk about Jalen Hurts for a quick second. Now I know we talk about Dak Prescott and his contract, and a lot of people bitch about that and all that stuff. But let me just tell you guys the difference between the way I hate Philly so much, but the way they handle stuff and contracts and the way these guys handle contracts. So, what do I mean by that? Howie Roseman, guys. Today, he finalized the contract details of Jalen Hurts' huge contract, right? Listen to this for a second, guys. When you break it down, he basically organized it into a cascading proration of every single thing, whether it's the option bonus, the signing bonus, the roster bonus, all these things. It's really a work of art. You got to give Howie Roseman credit. I know some people out there still somehow are tooting Jerry Jones's horn as the best GM. Are you freaking kidding me? The one thing the Eagles have over us and have had over us for a number of years, a decade, is that GMing by Howie Roseman. It's being real about that. He plays a different game than the other 31 GMs. Yes, even the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to be honest, a lot of these other GMs probably hate him for this. Listen to this. This is Jalen Hurts' contract. Tell me what you think about this. Salary cap hit-wise. Salary cap hit. I don't care how much Jalen Hurts is getting. This is how much is hitting the cap. And this is, again, a 5-year deal, but it's really a 10-year deal. I'll explain in a minute. In 2023, $6.14 million is the cap hit, which is expected. That's you can do that with. He's still getting paid kind of what he was. It's a real good cap relief for them. It happened with Dak Prescott as well. 2024, 13.55 next year is the salary cap hit. 2025, 21.76 is the cap hit. In 2026, 31.76 the cap hit. 4 years. And so far below the average. 2027, 45.82, which is probably the average right there. But he's supposed to be averaging 52, right? Or 51. 2028, the cap hit is 54. Sorry? Oh.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I'm just saying. Jason Renfro dropping that $2 holler here. What did he say, baby?
Woo, a fist bumping. Go Cowboys. Thank you, Jason. Much love to you. Appreciate you there, of course.
Much love, Jason Renfro with the fist bump. Appreciate you. He's still a little behind Mark Hovsepian in second place, Mark in first. The battle ensues and continues. Now, listen to, as I was saying this, again, $6 million, $13 million, $21 million, $31 million, and $45 million. That's the first 5 years of Jalen Hurts' contract with the Eagles. In his 6th year, which he would not be there anymore, it's $54.14 million. Again, if they want to extend him, they definitely could do that before that year, and they can then push that money forward to make it still light cap hits. But right now, you got his contract played out, and he hasn't got hit higher than $45.82 million. Now, in 2028, he's getting hit with the Eagles are getting hit with a $54.14 million hit. But even that isn't crazy at this point when you're thinking about all the money that you've spent 6, 13, 21, 31, and 45. You haven't hit 51 once. You hit 54 this time. The next year in 2029, $34.98 million is back to being cheap again. In 2030, it's $26.81. 2031, $16.85, and 2032, $7.92. Now, keep in mind, the last 5 years, 54, 34, 26, 16, and 7 is all dead cap money. But that is smart. That is smart what they're doing by doing the dead cap and by, pushing this money there. You're only losing. Okay, you're getting a big hit in 2028, but they have an option there to pick up that contract and extend it. Outside of that, $34 million, $26 million, 16 and 7. That's what they got to pay off on a dead contract. It's barely going to even be seen as we're going to be over $300 million on the cap easy by that point. So to me, this is a unbelievable deal by Howie Roseman for Jalen Hurts. Baby, be careful with your side. It's coming in and out, the audio. And I
didn't even say anything.
I know, it's just I'm hearing background sound. So, but the thing is this, guys. This big, massive hit of $54 million on Jalen Hurts' contract only happens if they don't extend him again before 2029. If they do, then what's going to happen? If they extend him in 2028 on a more traditional contract with roster bonuses instead of option bonuses, the cap hits would stay manageable his entire career. It probably wouldn't even go over $50 million, not even one time in his career if they extend him after his 5th year. So they basically took a 5-year extension. Howie Roseman turned that into a 10-year contract for cap purposes. Instead of having 2 manageable cap hits and 3 huge cap hits, they decided to have 6 small cap hits and only 1 huge cap hit if they don't extend them in 2029. It's similar to restructuring the contract every year. Very smart. Howie Roseman, I hate to say it, that the one thing the Eagles got us beat is at the GM position, and it's not even really a contest. Let me be real about it. We made some good moves. Howie Roseman's constantly hitting great moves, and you got to give him credit for this one too. I agree. But you got to give him credit for this, Howie Roseman. And again, if we had constructed a contract like that for Dak from the Joneses, I don't think so many people would have been shitting themselves about, so pissed about how much he's getting paid. Although we're still managing his contract, and it's still being managed. But next year and the following year, these are the years where it's going to be the biggest hits. So will the Cowboys extend them? Do they not? Will they absorb those hits? We'll have to wait and see. But that's the comparison when I say a well-managed front office. Again, I hate the Eagles, but Howie Roseman is a well-managed, GM, and Robert Lurie stays out of the freaking stuff over there. He's the owner. He stays out of the business there. He lets the GM, the professionals, do it. Jerry Jones got to get involved and then messes everything up. It seems like, and that's called to me the clown show. That's the clown show. Any thoughts on this, baby?
Honk honk. That's a clown nose there. Again, I have to admit, not too much to say there, but I did make a little bit of a joke in the chat, just saying teams are going to have to start taking out a mortgage, like a mortgage loan on quarterbacks, the way that their salaries are rising. So, but still,
even with that, the Eagles are controlling they're controlling his salary from rising too much. Be honest.
So, and that's where I think we're gonna probably see the shift for QBs. At some point, that bubble's got to pop. So, if anything, let's look at Hurts' contract and see if/when the Cowboys, I'm assuming, extend Dak, right? If they choose to do so, which I still think is very likely they do. I would like to see them do something somewhat similar. I know it's a little bit different when we're talking about, extensions or restructures and all that stuff, but I still think it's fully possible for us to find a happy balance between paying Dak, what I'm assuming he's going to get/deserve, but not put the team in too precarious of a situation. So, like I said, it gets a little bit trickier when it comes to this in particular, just because, again, one of the benefits of Hurts' contract is they're massaging that out over a greater span of years. We know going into this restructure, that's not going to necessarily be the case for Dak, unless the Cowboys surprise us or something. But, I don't know how long everyone is maybe thinking the extension is going to be. I mean, what are your thoughts there, baby?
I mean, I don't want to
more than a 3-ish year extension.
I don't really want to go into the extension because I don't know. It would be probably 3 years because we have like 2 years of dead cap hits coming up after his contract is up. But it's silly to guesstimate on that right now. I just think that it comes down if the Cowboys are sure.
Obviously more in a general sense, but the only reason I say that too is, again, Hurts' contract is how many years again? 7, 8?
10 years. 10 years. Let me explain. It's a 5-year extension, but it actually goes for 10 years, so they can take all the dead cap hits for 5 years. We have 2 years on Dak's contract. Again, Dak's was a 4-year deal, but it was really 6, so we have 4 years. I'm sorry, 2 years of. I'm trying
to say, even the Cowboys, even on their best day, were not going to make a long-term commitment like that. Honestly, it reminds me of KC's contract with Mahomes. Obviously not exactly 1-for-1, but in a similar way that they locked him down time-wise and tried to massage those numbers.
I agree, but the thing about Hurts' contract is they did it before his contract was up. Like the Cowboys had to battle him in his contract year twice. That's the Cowboys' bad mismanagement, and like we all say here sometimes, that's the clown show. That's the Cowboys where they mess up because the Eagles they're not waiting until his deal to be over and then negotiate with him under a tag. They're going all out, and again, maybe they're more sure about him. But Jerry Jones says he's the franchise quarterback, 4 years in a row when he was a rookie, and his next year, and his next year, and his next year. So to say now that he's not sure, it's kind of interesting if that's the case. My point is, it's the way this front office manages stuff. It is a lot of clown show. It's a lot of clown show. And, Dak doing business, these guys doing clown
clownery.
Show. Too much clownery.
And buffoonery.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to kind of go to one last thing before we take a little commercial break and do the last segment here. I told you it was a quick show tonight. But the Dak segment is done. I'm getting ready to talk about Mike McCarthy. Now, you see the title of tonight's stream. And, is McCarthy really going to be running the ball more? Not, of course, him. We know he ain't running anymore.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy personally is going to be running more. He's working out. He's lifting weights. He
probably should.
Get it right, get it tight.
Well, here's the thing, though. Let's again, guys, remember everybody's saying, with I got to remind everybody, we do have a guy named Brian Schottenheimer right here on your screen, who was with us last year as a Ben McAdoo kind of role in the background, checking out quarterbacks on both against us and how we can kind of go after quarterbacks that we are facing. But the key here with Schottenheimer is that he's a run-based kind of guy. I mean, in Seattle, he ran the ball a lot. We heard about a lot of his kind of running schemes and based a lot of things out of running schemes. The good thing about this is that he has a lot of play action involved, and that is something he does love to use. And with our kind of West Coast kind of feel offense, are we going to run more? Are we going to pass more? What are we going to do here when we got a running styled Brian Schottenheimer, and you have not Dan Quinn, but you have Mike McCarthy saying this quote: "I've been where Kellen Moore has been." Now remember, this is after he got fired, Kellen Moore, and McCarthy spoke about this to Michael Gelkin. Actually, he said, "quote I've been where Kellen's been. Kellen wants to light up the scoreboard, but I want him to run the damn ball so I can rest my defense. I think when you're a coordinator, but you're in charge of the offense. Being a head coach and being a play caller, you're a little more in tune with everything. I don't desire to be the number one offense in the league. I want to be the number one team in the league with the number of wins and a championship. And if we've got to give up some production and take care of the ball a little bit better, then that's what we'll do because we have a really good defense." Now, that's a quote from McCarthy shortly after Kellen Moore was fired. And I just want to make sure. So that sounds, I don't know if you heard everything I said, baby, but this is what Mike McCarthy says a lot of the times in his press conferences, whatever. Well,
yeah, we've heard it before.
Yes, but I want to say something. When McCarthy speaks, it's important to understand that when he says something in press conferences, sometimes it lines up. Most of the time, it does not line up to what we see on the field. McCarthy says something, and it seems a little bit different. It's always a little tweak that's like, well, it wasn't really exactly what he said. You can ask the Green Bay fans as well, as proof, guys. Mike McCarthy always talked, when he was in Green Bay, McCarthy always talked about we got to run the ball more. We got to get a running game. We got to lean on the run game. And he really never did that in his career in Green Bay. And really, now he's going to get his first chance to be the play caller, the shot caller, the Cowboy offense. So and just keep in mind this here. Again, he's saying that we want to, again, and I agree, it was more about Kellen Moore calling the plays, maybe the wrong timing of calling. He ran the ball sometimes predictably, and sometimes it was head scratching. Sometimes he threw the ball too much and stopped the clock and gave the other team a chance to come back and tiring out our defense like the Green Bay Packer game. But what I'm trying to say is, when we ran the ball, it was predictable. When we threw the ball, it was mismanaged by Kellen Moore, in my opinion. And when you look at last year, we threw the ball so much, right? Wrong. Last year, the Cowboys pass-run ratio. We passed the ball 53% of the time. We ran the ball 47% of the time. You might say, well, that's almost balanced. Excuse me. That is balanced towards the run, believe it or not. Now, I will say a lot of these runs came at the end of halves. sometimes at the end of games, running the clock out here and there. So of course, some of that stuff is a little bit, kind of swayed a little bit. But just in comparison to Mike McCarthy in his coaching career in Green Bay and in Dallas, 53% pass, 47% run was the highest run percentage Mike McCarthy has had as a head coach in his career. That was last year. Of course, Kellen Moore was running the show, not Mike McCarthy. The next closest number for Mike McCarthy's career when he was calling the plays was 2014. He was at 56% passing, 44% running. A little more higher on the passing side, even if that was his most, I guess you could say, his play calling most balanced run passed offense. He had 2 of his years, guys, and I got to give a big time shout out to Charlie, the guy from Dallas Cowboy Uncensored. He had a stockpile of some of this information, but 2 years, McCarthy had 57% pass, 43% run. 1 year, 58% pass. 3 years, he was at 59% and 41% run, 59% pass. And for 5 years of his career, he was at 60 or more percent passing the ball, 40 or less percent running the ball. So, I think, and I agree with Charlie on this, I agree with Dallas Cowboy, DCU, Dallas Cowboy Uncensored, that I do believe that there is, Mike McCarthy said we're going to run the ball more. We're going to run the ball situationally at different times. Instead of up by 14 and then throwing the ball a lot, we're going to try to maybe get a little more creative on the run, but we're still going to use the run. We're going to use quick passes to maybe create options to run the ball and slow it down, control the game. This is what McCarthy says. You got to know situationally when to run the ball and when to throw the ball. And even though he's going to throw the ball much more than run, in my opinion, McCarthy's going to do a lot more throwing than running. What are these throws? They're going to be receiver screens. They're going to be through 2 or 3 yard passes, and the receiver, the tight end, the running back, are going to take that ball and rack it up, guys. Run after the catch. And that is where you get your yardage. On a quick little passes, it's almost like a quick run, and you're going to get 3 or 4 yards. You might break one for 10 or 15, and then eventually you can hit them deep here and there as everyone comes up to defend the run, to defend the quick passes. So this is going to be McCarthy's kind of 30 to 35% tweak in our offensive game plan, in my humble opinion. So any thoughts on this? Maybe when it comes to McCarthy, I think even though he says he wants to run more, I think he means he wants to run the ball situationally at the right times, which with Kellen Moore had no freaking clue about how to do that. But I do think
you can't hear.
Yes.
You can't hear the asterisk when McCarthy talks, right? It's like every statement is a conditional statement. Terms and conditions may apply. So I am not surprised. Like you said, it's been a somewhat of a consistent trend with McCarthy, where he specifically when it comes to running the ball. Obviously, he said other things that end up going in a different direction, but it does feel like every year he praises running the ball. Heck, he was just praising Zeke not that long ago, even though he's not even on our team anymore. So I can understand why those statements get taken a certain way, but I think this feels like all just part of like McCarthy's general plan. He likes to keep things pretty close to the vest. And at least, especially in recent years, right? I can't speak to everything he did over in Green Bay, but it does seem like he doesn't try to necessarily let everyone and their mom know what it is that he has in store or planned.
I agree because
it feels like...
Yeah, remember, he was pretty upset about some things that Jerry Jones would disclose or, in these last couple of years.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
And remember, he made that joke recently in their last press conference after the draft, where he basically joked saying like, oh, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, because Jerry was kind of asked some like board situations at the time after our first pick. And he said, look, last year I showed you guys our draft board. I'm not messing it up again this year. And again, if you recall, Jerry last year in his excitement at, making such a great pick, he got a little too excited, and in a brief video clip, you could see our draft board in the background, and you could very clearly see where we had each player ranked.
Well, no, it was actually, he showed the paper, actually. It wasn't the board in the background. He turned the paper around and showed
okay, there we go.
The entire
sorry, I missed
media.
I could have sworn it was just like in the background, he was like showing it off. So even worse, he like straight up just said, here you go, guys. This is what we did. So yes, yeah. I do think that Jerry has learned his lesson from that.
Well, again, that's the new trick. New tricks.
I do think Mike McCarthy's just trying.
Yeah, that's hello. You kind of lost me there. Those are the new tricks that that the McCarthy's trying to get Jerry Jones in line with. But, kind of moving on from this, and I do want to hit up the chat. So if you don't mind, maybe hit up a couple comments in there. But I do want to say, I do want to kind of continue on this kind of in a way where it comes to the next step on things, which is, still signing free agents. I know that guys like Mark Hovsepian and many others, they want to know who's out there. We talked about the guys, kicker, guard. But right now the Cowboys have about, I think, a little bit over $12 million on the salary cap. You hear me? Cowboy Stephen Jones. You hear me? The owner of the Dallas Cowboys here, Jerry Jones. The Cowboys have about a little over $12 million right now after the rookie class getting paid. You guys hear me on here? So remember this other little tweak here, guys. On June 1st, do you remember what cha-ching's through? Ezekiel Elliott's $10 million, June 1st cut money comes through for us. So now we're going to have over 22, maybe close to 23 million, actually, I think, when you add up the change, loose change in the 12, the loose change in the 10. You get about $23 million open on the cap. What would the Cowboys do with the $22 million, $23 million? I think you get a kicker like Robbie Gould for $4 million a year, and I think you bring in there Dalton Reisner from the Broncos, a top 5 free agent at the guard position. He's young still. He has a little bit of attitude problem. Good. We like that. I like that. Anybody look him up? Anybody think anything about Dalton Reisner? Anyone think? What do you guys think about him? Because that's a guy I'm going to keep pushing over Jonathan Pugh and all these other scrubs that are out there. Dalton Reisner, former Denver Bronco, to me is a perfect fit for the Cowboys to be another glass eater next to Tyler Smith, and he will be a guy that solidifies as a starter on that left guard spot with all these other guys around him that, again, will only make him as good or better than he was in Denver. And he's already been pretty highly ranked after this Denver years there. His big thing was he threw his quarterback Ripken down last year in the Christmas game and shoved his own player to the ground, so they didn't want him back. We need a little attitude. Fuck it. Bring him in here. So, again, $23 million. We can't get Puna. He's already at the Buffalo Bills. But we can still bring in a left guard, and we can still bring in a kicker. These are things we need, in my opinion. And people will say, we don't need a guard. Yeah, what happens when Tyron Smith goes down? When Tyron Smith goes down, you're going to be crying a lot of tears. So, before we get to that point, let's start looking at Plan B and Plan C and get that shit fixed. Because Awesome Richards and Ball cross-training with Terrence Steele, that shit ain't working. That's not going to work. Farniak, that ain't working. So bring me in Dalton Reisner, bring me in Robbie Gould, and let's just not worry about this crap anymore. And let's get into the season the right way. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think, baby? Because to me, 2 veterans, a kicker, and a left guard. You can probably pick up a couple other guys too, but $22 to $23 million, what would you do with this cash money? What would you tell Jerry Jones in this clown show?
I mean, honestly, I am not sure what I would say, just because I am not 100% outright critical of the moves and things that they've done. If anything, honestly, I have to give the Cowboys a lot of praise, even though I'm going to keep saying this till I see it for real with my own eyes. Even though I have quite a few question marks about our draft picks right now, I feel like with some of the offseason moves and everything else, I understand what the Cowboys are doing, and I appreciate even though it's small, when it comes to us for our Cowboys, they have actually made what I would consider pretty significant moves that I don't think even 2-3 years ago we would have made. So is this, I think, 100% the correct path, the way to go? I'm not 100% sure yet, but do I think that we are closer to being on the right path to get where we want to go, which is winning another Super Bowl? I have to say yes.
I just need to say I agree with you.
I never 100% agree with everything anyone ever does, including our Dallas Cowboys. So, but I have to give credit where credit's due to this clown show.
Listen,
draft-wise, they might have, felt a tiny bit lacking as of now. But when it comes to, free agency and just the overall picture, the overall scheme of what I think they're trying to do, I'm excited. It's hard to not be excited when you consider just how dominant this defense is going to be. And when I also consider some of the holes that we've hopefully patched offensively too.
That's why I keep mentioning left guard, because I'm still trying to figure out what's really going to happen there. Until we get that figured out, I'm going to question it. And that's why Dalton Reisner.
I'm trying to give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt here.
Well, I can't
imagine
do it.
After everything we saw last year that they're just going to sit there and twiddle their thumbs at the O-line.
Well, get ready, because as of this moment, I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. I think we still need to shore up that left guard spot. So Reisner,
I don't disagree at all.
Reisner's a guy you get in here for $6 million, $8 million. I don't know. It's already way past the free agency time, so he can get him probably for pretty cheap for the quality he is, a 1-year deal, and then you can worry about filling that spot up next year in the draft. And then you can get Robbie Gould. I mean, $4 million. You got him. That's it. There's nothing to talk about. So you pay him a lot. Who gives a shit? We need a kicker. Let's get him in here, or Mason Crosby, or Prater. All these guys would be a little less than Robbie Gould, but that's what we got to do with that money. So until we solidify that, if they're going to bring in Brett Maher again and say this is the veteran, that's where I say this is the God-forsaken, goddamn clown show, and that's what they've shown us here over years. It's not like they've shown us these moves that are pretty decent in the trades. They haven't done crap in free agency, let's be real, but the moves in the trades are okay. That's nice, all right, but that's all you're giving us right now. So other teams are doing more right now that have more. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think that you're going to be a real GM type guy. You got to get your kicker signed. You got to get that solidified. You got to get your left guard kind of solidified. And then I think we got enough to go forward with minimal to no real worries. Again, there's always injuries. There's always other things. But the clown show seems to sometimes be, again, give us a little taste and then regress. Just saying. Just feels like that sometimes. So the next, again, I'll let you hit up the chat, baby, and I'll let you do the commercial break here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Again, to everybody here chilling, hanging, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere on all social media at MyCowboysFamily. And, of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below. And, yes, guys, we are, don't call it a comeback, but we are back. Fully monetized, and YouTube can't hold us down forever, right? So if you do want to go ahead, check out the membership options, feel free to do so. And of course, a handful of ways to support the channel side of the super chat and the memberships and all that stuff, guys. You have your Cash App, the Venmo, the PayPal, the Streamlabs link, all that good stuff. So let me also take a second here to give a huge shout out to our sponsor of the week and Cash App King, Mr. Stewart.
Much love,
Mr. Stewart. Much love to you. And also Mark Hovsepian, still representing as our stream boss, but he's got 95 points left on that board.
He's got that for 10 weeks as well. Domination. Much love to you, Mark. Much love to Mr. Stewart. Oh, man, I think I deleted there it is. I get him back. There's the leaderboard. Mark is leading this week, by the way, on the overall board currently, which is just started off. And Jason Renfro's leading the Cash App side as we start a new week here. Yes, those are exactly the ways you guys can help out the channel. Drop love, drop knowledge, however you want to do it. And of course, appreciate everybody here who's dropping the comments in the chat, dropping the love from above. I'm gonna give an extra special shout out to guys like Skeptical Fan and Scorpio. Skeptical Fan right now has gifted 12 memberships. You can only gift them if you're in the membership, but man, that is a great way of showing love here on the channel and also helping out fellow chat family members here in the MCF chat. And you gift these guys. People just randomly get selected who's in the live chat with us and get put into the Navy Blue crew, courtesy of somebody out there. If anybody in the membership does drop a little extra, they can do that through the membership icon there. I think it's through. You
do have to be a member, live and watching in order for you to get that kind of gifted membership. So if you aren't here chilling and watching with us, you won't be able to get it. So,
and it's something that just came on new, right?
Huge, lucky you. That means that you were watching MCF at the right time. You never know when it's going to happen.
Exactly. And again, it's a really cool feature. I really love that it lets you kind of get a taste of what it's like in the memberships. You get the emojis, you get all that stuff. And in the regular season, it's changing every week. So it's really a fun thing here. Part of the experience of My Cowboys Family. But everybody's welcome, whether you're a membership, whether you're a wrench, whether you are just chilling with us and talking Cowboys. We appreciate every single one of you guys hitting that thumbs up, that like, subscribing to the channel, and the notification bell to all the videos. We try to go live nightly, kind of slow down a little bit, but we're trying to rev back up. Now, let me get revving back down to the end of this show tonight, which is really about Not about Jerry Jones and his smiley little face. It's about the rookies, and really about rookie camp. So when I say this, guys, it's about the draft and the players that you can see right here, along with the undrafted guys. So let me go this way, guys. The rookie mini camp, which is, again, to me, it's going to be the first time we see these rookies on the field wearing these silver helmets, no star. You got to earn those. So rookie minicamp dates, guys, officially May 14th, May 15th, and May 16th for our Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, guys, mark it on your calendars. The Cowboys will be the rookies, the undrafted, and some others like second-year guys that are kind of redshirted. These will be the guys that will be on the field, working through some basic stuff with the coaching staff. I'm talking about Dan Quinn's and the McCarthy's, and we're going to get the first glimpses of the coaches and the players, even though they're rookies, on the field together. I think May 22nd, we're going to, shortly after that, you're going to get the veterans back, and you're going to have the OTAs with the veterans. So, again, you're going to have the rookies and veterans together on May 22nd. So, May 14, 15, 16 is rookies. May 22nd, the integration of rookies and veterans. I'm excited about this coming to fruition, coming to light. Rookie minicamp, guys, of course, like I said, May 14th to 16th. Then the OTAs begin the 22nd of May and the 23rd. Also jump to the 25th and May 30th. Also then continues into June 1st and 2nd through June 13th, 14th, and 15th. No live contact is permitted, guys, but they are going to have 7-on-7, 9-on-7, 11-on-11 drills. That will be allowed. So, again, just I have an idea of what we're going to be seeing here coming this week. The mandatory minicamp, that takes place June 6th, 7th, and 8th. Everyone has to be there for that one, or you're done. You can get fined. So, who's going to be here? Well, all these guys will be here. About 15 undrafted free agents are going to be there. We discussed all these guys. And today, guys, the Cowboys added a new player. Baby, guess what position the Cowboys are throwing into the mix of the rookie camp guys? Any idea?
Kicker.
Quarterback.
Sorry,
I know, you love the special team, but quarterback. So a guy from Elon College, which is in I think North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, there. Greensboro, if I'm not mistaken.
So, yeah. That's South Carolina.
South Carolina? Okay. Well,
it might be South.
I thought it was North Carolina, but either way. Oh, you're right? A lot of scratching on that mic there. So, this is an undrafted player. Again, a guy who is now NFL, quote-unquote, NFL ready. We'll see. Quarterback Matthew McKay. Matthew McKay is a camp invitation. Now, he's not been signed. He's an invite. The Cowboys want to see what he can do. Again, he's 6'4", all right? Playing quarterback. He's 212 pounds. Playing quarterback. He's a little bit of a bigger guy here. So we'll see how he does in the mix. Again, just literally a camp body who qualifies as a rookie. So we'll have a quarterback on that field, along with all the undrafteds, some of the second-year, red shirts or whatever, futures contract guys, and, of course, the 8 drafted guys you see on the screen here. But we are going to have a quarterback there from Elon College, quarterback Matthew McKay. So, again, I don't know if you guys know this guy or not. I don't know, maybe if you hit the chat up, let me know. But that's kind of one of those guys that you're going to, maybe take note of at quarterback in there. I also know that, not on this list, but I've discussed this guy. To me, he's probably one of our best undrafted players. This guy should have been a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, according to most experts. Isaiah Land, coming out of Florida A&M. And, again, defensive edge rusher. His athletic numbers, 8.5 out of 10. Fantastic. The main thing for him is his speed. He has elite speed for an edge rusher. I mean, elite numbers across the board. I'm talking about the 9.5s and higher. I mean, talking about 10 is the highest. So he's got elite numbers for an edge rusher in the last 30 years, 35 years of them doing this. But where he's very good at the explosion grade, vertical jump, broad jump. Isaiah Land is elite on these numbers, but he struggles on the things he can't help. His height, 6 foot, a little over 6'3". His weight, very light for an edge, 236, and he only benched 21 reps. again, far from, this is like pretty much very poor across the board there when it comes to his composite size, his weight, that kind of stuff. So again, that's why he fell off the rankings and went to the undrafted. The Cowboys corralled him, and he will be locked on. We're, again, trying to earn that star starting Friday at rookie minicamp. So I'm looking forward to see what Isaiah Land can do in Dallas. He has hunger. I want to keep an eye on him. He has hunger that he's holding back, that he's had to deal with not getting drafted and kind of being disappointed. Use that fire, and let's see what that motivation brings in him. So I'm looking forward to he's going to bring that field. Any quick comments before I go into my very last little segment here on another one of the undrafteds? I like to look at our undrafteds a little bit here and kind of, we know those guys I just named, those 8 guys. We went in deep dives on those guys. But I'm kind of every night I try to pick another player that maybe we can talk about when it comes to these undrafteds. Maybe any quick comments in the chat? Any comments in the chat? Any thoughts by you?
I do have to take a second here. Cracking me up. Scorpio's like, when you said elite speed, I'm thinking Breaking Bad.
Heisenberg.
Ooh, sorry, it just cracks me up. So thank you, Thomas Garrett, by the way, for that information. He said Isaiah Land is a Butte Buchanan Award winner.
Yeah, hey, he's got something, and the Cowboys get to see what he's got.
So honestly, again, like I said, some of our draft picks, undrafted guys, all the moves we've made so far, some of them, the jury is still out. But I have to admit, there's a handful of them that are very exciting, very intriguing. Obviously, we know none of these guys are necessarily going to just like go in there day one and start blowing it up. But it is exciting when you think about the future possibilities and the way that so many of our young guys just kind of hit the ground running last year. It does give you a lot of hope that a lot of these same coaches will be able to help our, newly begotten rookies and free agents to kind of hit the ground running just as well as they did last year.
I agree. Other comments, maybe?
So, yeah. Oh, no, Mike, I have to admit, I am really hoping that some of that Ingram frustration is motivating for him, right? We all saw the video. Land looked like the last thing he wanted to be in that moment was getting a phone call from a football team because he did not get it about 30 minutes earlier when he was hoping to get it. So, that kind of rankling and disappointment, we've seen it across the board. Whether you were a guy who expected to go in the first round and went in the second, that leaves a chip on your shoulder. And even Dak Prescott has talked before about how he had a bit of a chip on his shoulder being drafted in the 4th round. So, it's not like it's exclusive to only undrafted guys.
Yeah, I'm here with you, baby. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were gonna maybe
add
something in there real quick. That's all. So
you did a good job covering it.
But yes, exactly. Look, all we have to do is take advantage of those types of things, and honestly, put these players in a position to get these types of opportunities. Right? No one's wishing injury on anyone ever, but injuries are an inevitable fact of the NFL. So eventually, if/when somebody does get a little banged up or bruised, needs to sit out for even a snap, that's where every single one of these guys gets the opportunity to make a name for themselves and make a case for why they should still be here. Heck, the reason we're in this weird tight end situation to begin with is because first Jarwin showed up and showed out, and then he got hurt, and Schultz was showing up and showing out, and then we obviously decided to move on from him. So it's a good thing. It's kind of like the John Ridgway problem and situation. Obviously, we didn't want him to end up on our practice squad. Nobody wanted to see him end up with the Commanders. But, we weren't necessarily wrong for our initial instinct on thinking he was a solid player or drafting him or doing these things. Just the way the circumstances panned out, we went in a different direction. Someone else had the opportunity. So, again, part of NFL teams being successful and being good is managing the types of situations as they come to them, right? Adjusting to losing your quarterback or adjusting to, any other kind of roster moves that have to happen as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think that McCarthy showed that when you ran into some problems, McCarthy took hold of that team on offense and got us through it with the minimal talent we had at quarterback. So, that's what you're looking at when you look at the taking over. Now, I'm looking here in the chat, and some interesting comments here. Jason Renfro said that the quarterback McKay is from North Carolina State. So again, they said Elon is where he's coming out of right now, but maybe he did play at other colleges as well. I saw here again Thomas Garrett talking about the Buck Buchanan Award. That's given to the HBCU, Historically Black Colleges University. It's the version. It's the same thing as maybe it's a Heisman Trophy for a defensive player. I like to say like the the Butkus Award. I guess you can say that Micah got when he was in college. So the best defensive player linebacker gets that one. So this would be similar to the best defensive player in the HBCU. So again, this guy, a lot of upside, and he trickled down to an undrafted. The Cowboys got him now. Let's see if he can use that, that disappointment to motivate him forward. I'm looking forward to that. And, I agree. That's why Primetime was upset, said Mike Aldana. Training camp should be fun, Stephen. And so it should be fun is watching our receivers. Why do I say that? Because I think after you get past, when you look at our receiver core here, let me stop for a second. We got Jason Renfro dropping his knowledge, being in that silver level membership. What did the man say?
Much love, Jason. And he said, the quarterback we picked up played for North Carolina State. Now let's get our 6 and beyond. Let's go Cowboys and Longhorns. Now and forever. The time is now to go all in and get that 6. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Hell yeah. Agree, Jason.
And again, you see the Eagles doing the same shit. Like, pardon my language, but that's why we're all sitting here kind of gnashing our teeth saying, damn, they had a good draft. Damn, they did this. Damn, they did that. Because they are absolutely going all in aggressively, no holds barred, and really not leaving much on the table. The Cowboys, again, for the first time in a while, I see them making moves in a similar direction.
And again, they could make more. That's why I think some of us are upset. We're not. They're going the extra. The Eagles going the extra step. We're still holding back. But this quarterback is not going to give us the 6 over everything. This quarterback is going to be a piece that maybe becomes a guy like we have in our training. He makes the practice squad. He'll be the guy that we can practice against let's say a bigger quarterback. We might be playing that week. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to put too much into it. But yeah, this guy, another quarterback we bring in here to see if he can shake things up there at the bottom of our quarterback depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to go back to receiver here. I see Jason Renfro's comment. We got that Marco Seppian 94 points on the stream boss and in first place currently on the overall board. I know it's close between him and Jason Renfro, but let me talk about wide receiver because again, outside of Brandon Cooks, all right. That we see Brandon Cooks right here, number 3. He was brought in here, of course. Michael Gallup as well. He's on here, our number 3, I would say, and then CeeDee Lamb. All right. So we got our receivers. We know our top 3 receivers. We know who they are. But what happens, baby, when we have to go to our 4th, 5th, and 6th guys? And that question is going to be: is a lot of Jalen's fighting for that spot? Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks that we drafted in the 7th round, and Jalen Moreno Cropper. Let me talk about this guy for a minute. Will Smith, Chris Hall, they're the ones that dig deep for these undrafted guys, and they usually find a lot of good players at the bottom of the barrel. So Jalen Moreno Cropper from Fresno State Bulldogs, wide receiver. Keep an eye on him. I've talked about him a little bit, and you got to keep watching him. Now, he is 5'11". This is important now because he has a kind of a skill that not a lot of receivers in this draft had, something the Cowboys may be looking at. So he's 5'11", not a big, huge receiver, obviously. He's 172 pounds. So he's very skinny in that sense, 5'11", 172, hands 8 7/8, not big, arm length 30 and 1/8, not big, wingspan 72 7/8, not bad. But when you look at the combine numbers, percentile-wise, in a 10-yard split, 61st percentile for receiver. Not great. 40-yard time, though, in the 84th percentile, 4.4 in the 40. The vertical, 13th percentile, not a big vertical jumper. Broad jumper, 50 percentile. Benching, when he is bench presses, 35%. 35 percentile, again, not good. Not showing a lot of strength there. Shuttle, 40 percentile. And 3-cone, 33rd percentile. My point here being, those combine numbers is why Jalen Moreno Cropper, a receiver, fell off the board from Fresno State in the draft, became an undrafted. It's those numbers. So when we look at this, guys, the probability right off the bat, when you talk about any kind of undrafted guy, the first thing I think about is not 53-man. First thing I think about, can he make the practice squad? I believe he will at the very least, make the practice squad. But there's questions of how he will fit, good or bad, with the Dallas Cowboys that have to be answered in training camp. Jalen Moreno-Cropper, 4-star recruit rating out of high school, but chose to enroll at Fresno State despite offers from higher profile colleges. Keep that in mind. He joined Fresno State. We got Deron Bland from Fresno State. Remember that? He joined Fresno State in 2019, played a total of over 1,100 snaps in 4 years at wide receiver. In that time frame, he made 220 catches. He had 2,701 receiving yards. He scored 21 receiving touchdowns. And he also averaged 12.3 yards per catch. He also ran the ball 50 times for 465 rushing yards and scored 5 rushing touchdowns. Also averaged 9.3 yards per carry. That's insane. But he's doing that from the receiver position. He also made 3 pass attempts down the field, completed 2 of those 3 passes, and both those completions actually scored touchdowns. So you look at a little trick player, a little chicanery here with Jalen Moreno-Cropper. But again, he's a big-time contributor on special teams, which is good. That's the way you make this team. And he had his best season in 2022. It made the All-Mountain West first team. Again, not a big deal when you play in that conference, hence why he was undrafted. But there's a lot of under the surface there from Moreno-Cropper. And I like to look at the good things and the bad things. He has a super high IQ on the football field, understands every play, where everyone has to be, inside and out. He knows exactly where as the play develops, where he needs to go, in the soft zones and in the coverage areas. So he's very good at naturally figuring that out, which is good, a good raw talent to have, a raw skill. He's also excellent at operating through shifting his gears, basically, acceleration-wise, when he's running routes or, as a ball carrier, when he's at the ball in his hands. He's very good at changing speed and then, changing gear, basically. Guys, elite explosiveness off the snap. And when he goes, running patterns down the field as a receiver, when he's going down his route or creating separation, he knows how to get explosiveness and get away from his coverage on the field there. So again, when he accelerates, he's very smooth about it. His skills in college translate as a gadget or slot type of NFL receiver. Again, we don't have Kellen Moore, but you want to look at a couple trick plays, you might be looking at a practice squad type of guy here that's our backup trick play guy. I don't know what to say, but he can throw, he can run, he can catch. Fantastic at tracking the ball when the ball's in the air. He has acceleration in his routes, but he also sneaky change of direction as a ball carrier. And he makes defensive players miss. He's versatile as a receiver, playing across the line or going outside as an out wide receiver. He can play the slot, he can play on the outside, he can also run the full route tree. Special teams ability is very good, way above average as a returner. So another kind of returner. We got Turpin, we got Deuce, and now we got Jalen Moreno-Cropper here. Now, what are some of the negatives from him where he has to improve at least? His size, being 5'11", 172, is his biggest setback. 5th smallest wide receiver in this entire draft class. His strength and power is not a natural part of his game, and he gets outpowered, shoved around on his routes a lot of the times. He has no power when it comes to blocking ability, so you don't want him in there blocking. Again, adding to that smaller size and frame, it was going to limit him in the NFL to just being a pure slot receiver. He's not going to really be able to play on the outside. Even he did it in college, but he's not going to be able to. In the Mountain West Division, that's great, but in the NFL, that ain't shit in flying. So he will be out. He's not going to be playing on the outside too often in the NFL. He'll be a pure slot receiver, which the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys have kind of covered that at least to some extent. So he has less chances to make the team. And when you look at it like this, that's where he has to fit somewhere here. Again, when you fit in, it might not be a spot for him. He struggles to beat press man coverage because of his smaller frame when he's playing on outside and out wide. He gets lazy sometimes in games, trying to take shortcuts at the top of the routes or round off his routes, loses the sharpness, doesn't create separation, and that's an issue for him on a consistent level. He has good potential top speed, like I said, changing the direction, acceleration out of his breaks, but he doesn't use it on tape. You watch the tape, he's not using it as often as you would expect someone like him to be able to do that. And again, when it comes to making catches in traffic, he has way too many drops. So again, young guy, crafting him. Again, his best chance is to make the practice squad. I think he can do it. He has kind of the predicted, I guess the expected kind of ascension in college. Every year he gotten better and better. All the scouts and NFL evaluators, they all like to see consistent, constant progression of skills in each season as they get older and older in college. Moreno Cropper did that in Fresno State. By the end of his final year at Fresno State, he was one of the key focal points of the entire offense. And when he got the opportunity, he took advantage of that. His instincts as a route runner, ball carrier are elite. Combining that with acceleration, reliable hands. And he makes defenders miss, guys, one-on-one and open field stuff with a very good after-the-catch ability. It makes for a very exciting prospect, you can say, for the Cowboys to maybe be creative with him. We'll see what McCarthy can do. McClay, is scouting these guys. He's bringing them in for a reason. Some people are going to kind of say, hey, he's fast, 4.4, right, in the combine, but you don't really see it on tape. So he's got to be able to show that in games. You got to be able to bring that consistently in a game. So lack of size, the inconsistency of showing that speed that he has. We know he has it in the combine, but you haven't seen it in a game. It's a huge factor of how he's going to, that's why he was dropped into the undrafteds, and they don't know how he's going to translate that into the NFL with the smaller size. The concern is, how will he fit in Dallas? How will he fit, and that star on my chest, how will he fit with this team? As a gadget or slot player limited to short routes? Maybe we'll use his yards after the catch. Reception, yards after catch is something that, he may be able to do for us on a couple of snaps. Special teamer as returner, maybe. I mean, we have Turpin for that reason. We got Deuce Vaughn if needed, right? We have that covered. So this is, we'll see which is the best way for him to find a spot here. I'm assuming with the Yak in the West Coast offense is maybe what he's kind of tuned in to be. But again, he has to overcome his NFL smallness and size and stature. He has to overcome the strength issues. Because, again, it gets him off his route runnings, and he kind of gets out of his route patterns. It does not create the separation. But if he can overcome those things, he could become something more tangible for the Cowboys to use as a practice squad guy this year. But if needed to jump in there, if he could develop a little faster, he could provide some depth for the Cowboys if need be because of injuries and need to call him up. Just saying. So that's the situation with Jalen Moreno Cropper. I know a lot of people have asked about him. I know I've talked about him. I wanted to make sure I covered him here. We covered a lot of guys. I know soon we'll cover the guy from Liberty, Terrell Johnson, and others that we'll go and dive into deeper details about here on My Cowboys Family. Again, guys, keep in mind I did put up a Mozzie Smith video. Please check it out if you haven't yet. It's a little breakdown of what I think the keys to him fitting. First look for him, Mozzie's fitting in Dallas with our defense. Check out that video. It's kind of a standalone video, and we'll probably be uploading some more videos this week as we get closer to the rookie minicamp. So, baby, on your side of things, any comments or thoughts? Any comments in the chat before we wrap this one up tonight?
So, just excited to see all the possibilities, and like I jokingly said in the chat, no more drop passes. That's all.
Yeah, we don't want these receivers that drop passes. I agree.
So, but with that said, I don't really have anything else to add unless you have anything else to say, baby. And Mike Aldana saying that from what you're describing, he sounds a Cedric Wilson-esque.
Yeah, well. I would say yes, because again, returner type, right? Can't block. The only difference is Cedric Wilson was a lot taller. This guy is 5'11". He's a lot. Again, Cedric Wilson was skinny too, but this guy is smaller and skinny, so he's gonna have to find a way to fit into this offense. It seems like he's more like a trick play kind of guy, which was Cedric Wilson. He can throw the ball, right? He can run the ball sometimes. So very good comparison there, except a more compact, smaller version of Cedric Wilson. Good comparison, Bella.
Yeah. So let me see. Q Ball. Oh, he used to live out in the Fresno area, so.
Very cool.
Rolando Rodriguez, much love. So, yes, the schedule will be released this Thursday, and we are kind of expecting it to be Cowboys-Jets on Thanksgiving. Let's be honest. If it's anything else, I'll eat my cap.
They're going to have to, they're going to try to get Aaron Rodgers. I'm hearing also it could be, week 1 as well. I doubt it, but it could be, I guess.
I guess, and at least I'll give the NFL some small credit. They have at least moved away from making the Giants our week 1. But that feels almost like a waste, if that makes sense. There's a few other matchups they can exploit week one. And I don't know the Jets' schedule off the top of my head, but I have a feeling that there's at least one or two other people that the Jets could pair with that would be better than just the Cowboys. But never say never, right? So, Mike, does Cropper have a passion for football?
I mean, supposedly he does have a passion for football. It's just more about some of the routes he goes into, in and out of. He gets a little lazy later in games, but he does have passion for football. It's just, it doesn't have the full game consistency, I guess you can say, of really giving it his all sometimes. Sometimes. We'll see how that goes in the NFL. He better bring it because he has no time to be lazy on routes, because that's going to happen. He's going to not make the practice squad.
So I don't really have like I said, I don't really have anything to.
All right, so I guess it's a wrap, baby. No, I didn't know if you had anything more. I thought you hit the chat. If we're all caught up in the chat, then we can roll out of here, baby. It's an 1.5-hour show tonight. I told you it was a quick one. We covered everything in detail. We might still go live tomorrow. If we do, probably because Jerry or Stephen Jones spoke. But we'll probably go live tomorrow, and then Wednesday will probably be our day of rest here on My Cowboys Family. Wednesday or Thursday. Either way, guys, we'll be
Thursday, because Thursday the schedule comes out.
That's true. It can't be Thursday. So it's not to be tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll be out of here for one show. But then, we'll be dropping some videos. Keep an eye out for those. And we will be going live again, whether we go live tomorrow and off Wednesday, go live Wednesday and skip over tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. More on the news, info, and updates. But we appreciate you guys being part of this thing. And I got to give a shout out here to those that dropped the love, kicking off a new week here tonight. Tammy Soltis, back in that navy blue crew. Welcome back. We appreciate you. Skeptical Fan dropping a gifted membership here, kicking off the week right. 12 for him in a row. You can see above there. He's got the top spot right now as the gifted membership leader for this month. And Michelle Fabella gets that. Congrats to you. Enjoy that month of membership. And if you want to continue it, there's always ways of doing that or upgrading that. Skeptical Fan, much love. Tammy Soltis, much love. Jason Renfro dropping the Cash App love. And he, of course, baby, of course, Jason Renfro currently has that lead in the Cash App. So much love to Jason Renfro, the leader in the Cash App. And much love to the guy who's got the crown in the Cash App, Mr. Stewart, who is also our fantastic sponsor of the week. First time for him to represent any of the board, and he gets a complete takeover. Much love to Mr. Stewart, repping the top spot. Cash App for this week, sponsor of the week for this week. And Marco Seppian, 94 points on that stream, boss. Holding that down for 10 weeks plus. Plus being the leader right now on the overall board. So we got Marco Seppian trying to get that sponsor of the week. Jason Renfro trying to get Mr. Stewart's Cash App crown. And Mr. Marco Seppian still keeping that stream boss all to his own. So appreciate everybody here, guys, on all fronts. Dropping the knowledge in the chat, dropping the love from above. We cannot do this without your support and love and interaction. KD in the house, Jason Renfro, Mike Aldana, Q Ball, and on and on and on. Is that it for the shout-outs, baby? I think you did them all, right? Or did you do them yet? No, you didn't do them yet.
No, I have not.
Okay, so passing the mic to you, and then we're going to say goodnight.
But thank you, Jason Renfro, KD in the house, Mike Aldana, take it easy. We have Q Ball representing. Rolando Rodriguez, much love. Let me see. I almost shouted myself out. Thomas Garrett, have a great night. Stephen White, hell yeah. Training camp is definitely going to be fun. We also have Choctaw Montana 808 in the house.
Yeah, Montana.
Let me see. Scorpio coming through, much love. I know Bird Bar was in here. Bruce got the toxic juice, just saying front the damn ball. Let's see, who else is here? Aztec Aguilar 04. Let me come back down. The Lunatic.
Woo,
what's up? Much
the
love.
Lunatic in the house.
So, and again, guys, if you didn't already, just a quick little plug for the MCF side of things. That we did a short little video on Mozzie Smith earlier today, just kind of breaking down on how we think he's going to contribute to our team and a few kind of other specific points. So make sure to check it out if you haven't already. Of course, before you roll on out of here, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link is down below in the description box.
I posted up here the different ways of helping the channel. But baby, what's the newest thing we got here on My Cowboys Family? Back in full effect. Super chats are back. you got different ways of helping out the channel: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and putting the message on the screen. But you can do the super chats now that way. And baby, one of the best things we got here is what? The membership is back in the house. Navy blue, silver.
I just dropped them again.
Yeah, navy blue, silver, star levels. And of course, we got even a special bonus level if you want to do that. It's very, very rare. I think anybody will do that. But if they do, you jump on the show for an entire live stream per month. If you're in that over everything level, check it out. If you guys are new, I know we got some of the ballers in here that have been in the memberships for record months. And we got about, 20 something in there right now, building back up. Appreciate everybody who's been standing by us the last 3 months plus. But now we got the memberships back. We can start this thing up again and have some fun with it. Make this the experience. After about a month, you will see the creation of this, the membership part of the family. So appreciate every single one of you guys that jumped in there. Appreciate Skeptical Fan the most, of course, and Scorpio as well for gifting memberships, which is a new thing we got here on this channel. If you're in the membership, you can gift memberships randomly to anybody in the chat. So I love this new thing we got going on here. And I guess, we're back at it here on My Cowboys Family. Appreciate every single one of you guys hitting that thumbs up, that like, subscribe, notification bell. Again, appreciate Mr. Stewart, sponsor of the week, and Cash App King. Jason Reffo coming for that kingdom and the Cash App in the lead. Marco Seppian coming for the overall board right now. He's in first place. And he's, of course, got that stream boss. But, baby, let us know, why do we do this here on My Cowboys Family each and every day and night? What do you do this for?
It's that navy blue. That silver too. That star over everything.
That was really, really, interesting there. I'm the guy, and I have a feminine voice there. It was interesting, baby. Thank you. Yes, guys, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Here in MCF, we rep that star over everything. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. Almost 6 years and beyond here on My Cowboys Family. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, Go Cowboys! Hell yeah. Let's get that 6 and beyond. Guys, thank you for rocking with us in the chat, dropping the knowledge all night long. 90 minutes strong. Can't do this without you guys. And again, in there, we need that back and forth to get this thing going. Thank you guys for your thoughts in there and your discussion on our Dallas Cowboys. Of course, truly love and appreciation to those that have dropped the love from above. Again, Tammy Soltis, Jason Renfro, Skeptical Fan gifting memberships, and Mark Hovsepian. Thank you guys for rocking the spot here tonight on that side of things. It is time to clock out here tonight. I'm kicking off a new week on My Cowboys Family. Tomorrow or Wednesday, we will take off, but the other day we will be on here talking about our Cowboys once again, baby. Before we can officially clock out of here for the night, what do we got to do here on My Cowboys Family before we say goodnight? If we say goodnight and before we say peace out, what do we got to do?
We gotta drop the beat.
And that beat has now officially been dropped, very strangely, but it was dropped. It was dropped proper. The wife and I here chilling, guys. I hope you like our little bar here. Little chill, a little Cowboys chat bar. We're going to do this a couple of times a week, so get ready for that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun here. We're going to change up some things. We're going to change clothes on there. And we're going to also sometimes just pop on camera, too, right? So we're going to do it here. Thank you all for rocking with us. The Lunatic dropping the flames. Scorpio, Jason Renfro, on and on. Everyone in the house. Cue Ball, thank you once again. We'll be back tomorrow or Wednesday for another one. Keep a lookout for those videos of our rookies as they get closer to the rookie minicamp. And of course, right here, another Cowboys chat in the books. Remind all those Eagle fans, 5 is always greater than 1. And never forget, the number one thing right here, another Cowboy chat in the books. Talked about some of these undrafted guys, the schedule, Mike McCarthy's mindset of quote-unquote running the ball. Talked about it all and more. But here, the number one thing, here, now, and forever. Never forget it, right here on MCF. Everyone stay safe, truly stay safe. Much love to all. We'll see you back tomorrow or Wednesday for another one. Appreciate the discussions. Appreciate the drops of love. Can't do this whole thing without you guys. Never forget, guys, as always, before we can get on out of here, never, ever forget the number one thing here, My Cowboys Family. Go Cowboys!